Here's my experience going from this sidewalk to this sidewalk. Here's my current sidewalk, all kinds of salt damage. It's been here long enough, I'm tired of looking at it, so let's replace it. Next thing we do is get everything level. I gotta cut some from this side right here and a little bit over there. I'm gonna put some stakes in the ground, one right here at the beginning and then one over there on that side. I'll run a string across, and that string will represent the top of the finished sidewalk. So I'll measure down from the string to the ground, and I need to make it 3.5 inches all across. So 2.5 inches for the pavers themselves, and then I'm going to do 1 inch of sand all the way around. You can put some kind of other base down there to make it a strong foundation, but this is pretty strong red clay, so I think that's going to be fine for what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and get this knocked out. After a few days of trying to level this out, I think we got it. I had to add a bunch right here and a little bit right there, cut down from that side. I had to add a little bit there at the top of the sidewalk. What worked best for me is just kind of screeding it, trying to screed it all the way across and put a level on top, as opposed to measuring it with the strings, as I guess you saw me doing earlier. But what's easier, or what you're supposed to do, is dig down probably 6 more inches than what I did already, and then fill it in with some other compactable fill that's easy to screed out and make the level that you want. But we have hard dirt here, so I decided to try to skip that step and see how it does. Next thing we need to do is to add our sand. I laid out some pipes right here that will represent the top of the sand. I'll be screeding the sand across these 2 pipes. So you gotta make sure these 2 pipes are level. Maybe you want it leaning one way a little bit for drainage purposes. But we gotta make sure that's level. So our sand will be level, and then the top of our sidewalk will be level. in my garage. It is now time to lay the bricks. I think this is the design I will go with. It's simple, doesn't require many cuts, and I think it looks good. Putting the bricks together is pretty easy. If you look at the side of one, it has a couple grooves on this side and then one groove on the short side. And those grooves tell you where you can line it up to make it match with another brick. So you can see where a brick was previously scratched up against this one right there and right there. And then you can see the groove right here and right here. So you just kind of match up the scratches and the grooves with another brick and it'll just line up perfectly. And it'll leave a little gap right there. That's where your sand will go in to help make sure everything doesn't move around as much. I have to find the center of my circle here. So I'll continue this line and this line all the way to past this edge right here. And I'll continue this corner, this line straight and this one straight. So I can make like a box and then just find the center of that box. And that should be the center between the landing there and the sidewalk. Easy part is done. Now we got to work on the circle. I did have recordings of me screeding the sand right here, but my phone overheated and the camera turned off, so you'll just have to miss out on that one. So now starting on a circle. So I have my center point right there attached to my string, so I can measure out 3 feet to the edge of the string to where the edge of the circle will be. And if I put the edges together, you'll see there'll be a gap in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'll measure from here to here, divide that in half, and just cut that much off this corner right here. And then I'll close in these gaps right here. My phone keeps on turning off, so I'm not able to record everything. It's only 81 degrees, but in the middle of the sun, so I guess it warms it up a little more. I laid my compass down. This is pointing straight north, south, east, west. So that's correct, correct direction. Got it leveled the best I can. Let's keep going. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I need to put the borders on, and I need to put sand in the middle. And once that is complete, that's a wraps. I just wanted to explain some of the process again. I went through the video kind of quick without explaining a whole lot, so I wanted to go over a few points to help you if you're looking to do something like this yourself. My circle here is 5 foot. It's the same as my landing or my step here, whatever you want to call it. It's a 5 foot circle, and I wanted it to be off of the step a little bit, so that's 2 feet right there. So to the middle point, it's 2.5 feet plus 2 feet, so 4.5 feet from the landing here. And then I think the landing itself is 5 foot. So that's 9.5 feet from the wall to the center point. So I just measured over from this wall 9.5 feet to find my center point over here. This is a typical 4 foot sidewalk. Well, a little bit less because the paver is a little smaller, but I just minused 2 feet and added 2 feet to find my each side right there. And then brought that over all the way down on a string line. And then I measured the same distance from this wall to right here to find the other side of the string line to make sure it's straight, and the same right here. And then to find the actual center right here, I did string lines coming to somewhere over here, and on this one straight across to somewhere over here to show the 2 points of the edge of the circle. And then I just got the middle of those 4 lines, 2 of them going here and then 2 of them going here, and I just found the middle, and that's where I made the middle. The laying the bricks is pretty easy. The hardest part is just cutting them. I do recommend getting a pipe saw or a type of saw that you've seen me using. It is a lot of work, but that is probably the best way to do it. Now, whenever you're making your cuts, it's not hard. You just need to line up where, say we're going to be cutting this brick right here, as we would need to cut it. So I just make a mark with my marker on the side of where this needs to be, somewhere about right here. Not exactly to where the other brick starts, but a mark right there, and a mark on the other side about right there. I'm doing this left-handed. So then you turn it on your side, maybe like this, and then our marker's right there. So I transfer that over to the back, and on the same one, our marker's right here. So that's transferred over to the back, and then I just take a straight edge, line up my 2 points, and just make a line, and that's where I would cut. Cut that off, and then it would fit perfectly right there. So it works for the same no matter how big or small it is. The more difficult cuts that you would have to do if you have to run into something like this where you can't really see all the points. So make sure you have your edge that you want. Make one line right here, one mark right there, and the other mark right here. We know that this line right here goes all the way through. So I'm gonna make a mark right there. I have one right there already. And then I'm gonna flip it over. This is the one I was using in the example before. But I'll make a mark right here, a mark right here, and a mark right here. So we know this mark right here and this mark right here represent the line, this point and this point. So you'd make a line like this. And then you'd put this back down. And you can get a straight edge and kind of line it up with what known points you have here. Like this is going to be like this. So it's going to end somewhere right down there. So you would follow it straight down. I can't do it left-handed. But if you would follow this straight down, it would end somewhere like right here. So I made a mark right there. And then I transferred it to the back. And then I'll just line up that first mark and this mark over here. And then draw my line. And this is my piece that I need. Don't worry about this one because that's our previous example. So just follow the lines where you're going. Like this one's going, just pretend it's going all the way through, and this one's going all the way through, and the point it would meet would be in the middle somewhere here. Hope that makes sense for you. The sand I was using, it came from a riverbed. It was cleaned up, and I was able to get my hands on some of it. It was free for me, so that's why I used it. Maybe you would use some play sand instead. As you can see, all these rocks are in here. I didn't have a problem cleaning those out. It was okay for the extra work for me. I put in the paver rail or the paver stay, whatever you want to call it. I used the 12-inch spikes to put them in there. I used it every 2-3 feet, except in spaces that needed more, like in this spot where I was making this turn right here. So wherever you need to make a turn, you just cut off the little plastic pieces that connect them. Like this is connected here to here. I just cut them off between here and here, so this is able to bend freely. And then I put more than one in places that had a little more stress. So definitely use the metal ones. So I waited until spring to get my pavers from Home Depot. They were on sale for 25 cents each. The reddish and brown ones, but the gray ones, I think those were normal price. So if you wait until spring, you can get when they're on sale. For the sand, I just used regular play sand. I used 2 bags, 1.5 bags for my sidewalk. I'm sure the sand will have to be reapplied after some time, so just keep that extra. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for this one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them the best that I know how. And remember, you never know what you're capable of unless you give it a try.